And our Sunrise Smart Start teen has been arrested after a crash on Lexington Avenue in Rochester.
Officers responding to that area near Mount Read Boulevard around 12:30 this morning, and this is what they found. Police say the 19-year-old driver was not injured, but was found to be under the influence. A loaded illegal handgun was also found in the car. That teenager has been charged with DWI and criminal possession of a weapon.
Also new this morning, a light pole knocked over after a crash this morning in Rochester. Officers responded to Emerson Street at Mount Read Boulevard. Now details are limited at this time, but we will continue to update this story throughout the morning.
Dominic Pizzola, the local man facing charges in connection with the January 6th riots at the U.S. Capitol, is due in court today. Back in October, his attorneys claimed Pizzola's constitutional rights were being violated, citing poor confinement conditions within the Washington, D.C. jail. The 44-year-old is accused of smashing a window at the U.S. Capitol and threatening to kill former Vice President Mike Pence.
Also happening today, former Gates Police Chief Jim Van Bretterode is expected to announce his candidacy for the New York State Senate. He will be joined by former State Senator Joe Robach and community representatives. Van Bretterode retired as a chief last month after 34 years with the Gates Police Department. He has also served as the president of the Monroe County Chiefs Association since 2017. Well, yesterday, President Biden met with the two top senators on the committee that will hold the confirmation hearing of his eventual Supreme Court nominee. The president says he wants Republicans' input in that process.
We are joined by Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson, once again live in D.C. this morning. Rashad, good morning. President Biden said he wants to nominate a black woman to the high court. Is he seeing any opposition to this?
Hey, good morning. The president's getting major pushback from some pretty conservative senators, Ted Cruz of Texas being one of them, calling the process racist and saying that Democrats are discriminating on the basis of race by the president saying that he wants to nominate a black woman to the Supreme Court. Others are saying it's making the process political by putting this out there and putting the qualifications based on race of the person. But Democrats are pushing back, saying that the court should reflect the country, and even Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has made those statements as well, saying that he would like to see diversity on the court. But the president remains that he is going to uphold that key campaign promise of nominating a black woman to the Supreme Court.
And Rashad, all eyes on this decision. Who are some of the president's top choices?
So the White House says that they're looking at about a dozen candidates, but some of the top choices include Ketanji Brown Jackson. She's on the D.C. Circuit Court. She's a leading favorite among them. Another one would be Leandra Kruger of the California Supreme Court, and as well as Michelle Childs of South Carolina. She's actually getting some praise from a Republican in the Senate, Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina. That's his pick, as well as some other members of the South Carolina congressional delegation. But the president says he wants the best person for the job, and he also mentioned the qualifications of who he would like to see to those top senators on the Judiciary Committee. And the president says he plans to make an announcement as to who he would like to pick for the Supreme Court by the end of this month.
All right, and we'll be following this. Rashad, thank you so much for your time this morning. Of the 115 United States Supreme Court justices in history, all of them have been white men except for 7. Only 2 black men and 5 women have served. While Americans' national debt has hit another milestone at above $30 trillion, the national debt has surged by about $7 trillion since the end of 2019. This is due in part to the pandemic. This milestone comes as borrowing costs are expected to rise.
2 officers were shot and killed after a shooting at Bridgewater College in Virginia yesterday. Students and staff there were ordered to shelter in place for several hours after 2 campus safety officers were attacked. According to a statement issued by the college, an armed man was taken into custody. The FBI and other agencies have joined the investigation.
Well, James, I'd bet if you're headed out the door this morning, you're going to feel a difference from today's temperature versus yesterday's temperature.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Oh, yeah. Add
big time relief.
30 degrees. It's so much more comfortable this morning. And we've got a nice day this Wednesday. Maybe a day to prepare for the winter storm warning that happens tonight through Friday. It's impressive how long this storm system will last. But what's good news is it's a slow snowfall that lasts throughout the next 36 hours. Accumulating 8 to 12 inches, it seems like a lot if it all came at once, but it's not going to. It will likely occur over that 36-hour period. We'll see higher numbers. I bet we could see 1.5 feet for some of those areas south of Rochester, higher elevations across the Finger Lakes. We'll take a last look at the 8-day forecast at the end of the show. Mark Ellie.
James, thank you. Checking the roads again with our sunrise traffic volume beginning to build in along 390 by the airport. You see in our view here. Accident in Rochester, Stevens Street at Portland Avenue. Another in Scottsville, North Road at Scottsville Road. 490 and 590 up to speed at last check. Eric Smith, a free man after being released from prison yesterday.
He was found guilty of murdering and sexually abusing 4-year-old Derek Roby almost 30 years ago in Steuben County. Smith was just 13 at the time of the murder. He was granted parole back in October, saying Roby did not deserve the violence visited upon him. Smith also said he had unresolved anger issues that caused him to lash out. Steuben County officials say Smith's release from prison is a difficult feeling for some.
Unfortunately, that ship has sailed, and that's a decision made by state parole, not by anybody else. So we can't influence that at this stage. So it's a tough day for any of us here in Steuben County law enforcement, particularly those of us who were around when this happened. The only thing that I can think of is just the concern for the Roby family. Obviously, they lost a 4-year-old child so long ago. They were the limited contact I had with them. They were great people, and this is just one more re-victimization.
Officials say Smith will be residing downstate in Queens County with his fiancee. Under the parole conditions, he cannot leave New York without permission and has agreed to constant monitoring and check-ins with his parole officer. A 30-year-old man is recovering after a stabbing here in Rochester.
Police responding to West Main Street around 5 o'clock yesterday. They found that victim with a stab wound to the upper body. He was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. No suspects are in custody, and anyone with information is asked to call 911.
Now for the latest on COVID-19, one local hospital system will be getting some relief next week as part of Governor Hochul's plan to address staffing shortages. 20 medical professionals from FEMA will be arriving at Strong Memorial Hospital for about a month. Leaders at Strong say they're dealing with the recent COVID surge on top of being short-staffed. On top of that, the hospital dealing with about 200 people being treated for COVID.
That number is going down, but it's going to take a while to have that number get down into the double or single digits.
Local leaders also say they've been short-staffed long before the pandemic. People are retiring early, missing work due to COVID, and leaving the industry due to overall exhaustion have been all common factors. Well, a developing story out of the NFL. Former Miami Dolphins head coach Brian Flores is suing the league and 3 teams for racist hiring practices.
Now, the lawsuit alleging Flores did not receive a fair opportunity during recent interviews with the Broncos and Giants. Flores says he was contacted by Patriots head coach Bill Belichick, who accidentally told him former Bills offensive coordinator Brian Daboll had been hired as the Giants' new head coach. Now, that exchange happened 3 days before Flores interviewed with the Giants. Under the Rooney Rule, NFL teams are required to interview minority candidates for head coaching and senior management positions. Flores also alleges that Dolphins owner Stephen Ross offered him $100,000 for every loss during the 2019 season so the team could get a better draft pick.
With the departure of Brian Daboll, the Buffalo Bills have promoted quarterbacks coach Ken Dorsey to offensive coordinator. Sources say Dorsey was contacted by 6 other teams for openings as well. He joined the team back in 2019, and last week Josh Allen said Dorsey was his pick for the job.
Well, after days of conflicting reports, the GOAT finally hanging it up. Former Patriots and Buccaneers quarterback Tom Brady announcing his retirement via Instagram yesterday. Brady thanking his Bucs teammates and coaches for the past 2 years and last season's Super Bowl title. Brady finishing his career with 7 rings, the most of any player or team in league history. Here's what some folks will be talking about at the water cooler this morning. A new team name will be announced today in the NFL. The Washington football team will release its new name and uniforms coming up later today. Now, sources say Commanders will be the choice. The team started a campaign to select a new name just a couple of years ago in 2020. So time will tell.
Time will tell, but we know James likes the presidents.
He likes the presidents.
The Washington presidents.
Yeah. They hurry up pretty quickly if I want to try to change their decision.
Yeah.
So I'll be making some phone calls. In the meantime, as we hop on the bus, we are comfortable, starting off in the 30s, finishing around 40 degrees for the return home. It is lovely ahead of our winter storm that's on the way. Here's your 8-day forecast. We'll finish with this. Thursday is the day to watch. Tough commute across the region throughout the day as it's heavy snow. We finish with somewhere 8 to 12 inches. A few spots to our south, more than 12. We'll be covering it all day today and certainly tomorrow.
All right, James, thank you so much.